Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Motor City Rockers Hockey. I'm Brady Beaton, the voice of the Motor City Rockers, and tonight another edition of the Battle of I-94 presented by Ciderboys as the Port Huron Prowlers come here to Big Boy Arena for the first of a home-and-home tonight and tomorrow evening. Motor City and Port Huron both come into this game streaking a little bit. 3 wins in a row for the Rockers, 7 for the Prowlers, but last weekend proved very fruitful for Motor City and their playoff push. They won all 3 games in regulation, 9 points towards clinching a 3rd straight playoff berth. The magic number sits at 14. Now, to calculate that, every point the Rockers get and every point that the Venom Hockey Club does not get reduces that number till hopefully at 0, and the Rockers are into the postseason. Port Huron, again, last weekend, very strong, got wins over the Venom HC and the Mississippi Seawolves, just in reverse order of the Rockers. Haven't lost since March 1st. Port Huron playing pretty darn well, but Motor City trying to build up some momentum. Not a lot on the transaction wire for the Rockers. Port Huron, a slew of them. You can go to the website to check all of them. I'm not reading all of it off, especially today. A slew of new college kids coming in for them. Some guys on IR, some guys activated, some guys put on leave. A whole slew of changes for Port Huron, but the core guys for the Prowlers still here tonight. We'll step aside, come back. You'll hear my conversation with head coach Jamison Milam. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Rockers Hockey here on the Rockers Media Network.
How did Culligan become the worldwide leader in water treatment? 88 years of experience, 46% energy savings, 100% satisfaction guarantee, or our network of more than 600 local water experts? Score big with Culligan Water.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Hey, band members, follow the Motor City Rockers on social media. On Facebook, X, and YouTube at Rockers Hockey. On Instagram and TikTok, find them at Motor City Rockers. For tickets, schedule, and more, visit rockershockey.com. Rock on!
Welcome back to the Rockers Media Network. I'm Brady Beaton, joined by head coach Jamison Milam. Coach, coming off of such a successful weekend last weekend, 9 points, 3-3, have a lot of momentum coming into this weekend. Did anything change with the messaging at practice, or what was the vibe like in this week coming into a big couple of games with Port Huron?
It's nice we saw some success from what we've been working towards, but for the most part, the message was don't be satisfied. The 2 teams we played last weekend weren't the kind of teams we're going to be facing, leading into playoffs and in playoffs. So we're going to have to take what we, had successes with, amp it up a little bit. This is another level of hockey we're going to be playing for the rest of the year. And I think all teams are starting to feel that playoff kind of pressure coming on. So everyone's picking it up. Teams have made their moves, their adjustments. They're starting to find their strides. So we have to be better every night than we were the night before. Even if it comes to a loss, still got to make, strides. So, yeah, we're more confident than we were 2 weeks ago, but we can't be, so cocky or confident that we just think everything's going to be a W now. We have to literally go out there and take it.
So 2 weeks ago, obviously, get swept by Port Huron wasn't a great effort. Then you bounced back and had the sweep last weekend. What was something tangible you saw that, okay, we were doing this? Yeah, Mississippi and the Venom aren't as good of a team as Port Huron, but you guys also played better as well. Where were those areas you saw that you really improved in?
Definitely less turnovers, one thing. But controlling more of the play in their zone, I thought, led to us not having to defend very much and led to us scoring probably the most goals we've scored, significantly, I think, all year. It was, 8, 6, and 5, I think, were the totals. So yeah, if you have goals to back yourselves up, then those mistakes cost a little less, or the goaltender can breathe a little easier, or the defensive team as a group can kind of take the foot off the pedal a little bit. So yeah, I just think we were using a game plan of cycling it, using the point, involving everybody in and out on the offense, and it got more people involved, and it got more pucks in our hands and more pucks to the net.
So this Port Huron team, they've been playing pretty well as of late. Haven't lost since the 1st of March. 7 straight wins for the Prowlers. When you look at them, what do they do well? And because they've evolved too over the season, and coming into this weekend where mathematically you have a chance to clinch if you can get a couple of wins. What do you see that Port Huron does well?
Well, they played with a lot of confidence. You could see it a couple weeks ago in our last meeting. It just seems like the plays that they make shouldn't work. Like they'd get the bounce or they'd get that extra, something would happen where it would work for them, and that's just playing with confidence. Like you as a defenseman, you got your stick out there to negate any chances, but they're stick handling through it somehow. Puck's on a string or finds their feet or their stick somehow. And when you win games and you're starting to see scoring out of different players and you start to get that mojo going, it's a tough thing to tear somebody out of. So especially with these guys tonight, they're winning a lot. We finally found a winning mentality over here, so I'm hoping that the boys are amped up. It's a kind of a revenge game. They beat us in the I-94, and that doesn't mean that we're done for the year. So there's 4 more games against these guys, and we really want to use them as our testing round for the playoffs because they're in it. And we know we're going to have to be in it, so we got to be a team like this to advance.
When you talk about confidence, how important is the start to it? Obviously, 2 Saturdays ago, you get down 4-0. You don't play a half-bad hockey game after that point, but you're in such a big hole that it didn't really matter what you did. You're not coming back from that. How important is it to come out of the gates and, as you like to say, start on time?
Absolutely. That's true every game. You never want to go down a goal. Sometimes it's not as big of a deal as with other teams. But our team tends to compound errors, and 1, 2, 3 goals is a lot more of a difficult thing to overcome than 1. So coming out on time isn't just confidence, though. That's just being ready, preparing yourself throughout the day, making sure you get enough out of your warm up. Anything before the game that you do, whatever you've eaten, has all dictates in how you start the game. But going out there and getting yourself involved. You don't want to shy away from any contact or using your feet, making sure you get a couple puck touches early in the game and, getting yourself into it, getting that heart rate going, making sure you're in there.
You're one of the scratches tonight. You'll be just head coach Jamison Milam in this one. Got a chance to do that a couple weekends ago. That was your first one really of the year where you got to step back and be the coach. Do you take a look at the game any differently when you get to stand on the bench and take kind of a more wide lens view of things than maybe directly from the ice in a defensive spot?
It's a lot easier to, feel the game when you're not playing it. You can sense the kind of back and forth or whatever kind of mojo is going which way. You can feel when things tense up. You can feel when things get a little more gritty. You can feel when things start to open up offensively. Teams start to exchange chances. And you get a better look at that when you're not huffing and puffing and slurping down water and trying to think of what to say during the commercial break. So I just got to sit back and, kind of take notes, kind of realize they had their own thing going with the coaching staff with John and Z and me kind of chiming in when I could, but all the 3 of us up there were just bouncing ideas off each other and keeping things calm and collected.
Final question, Coach. Keys to getting some big 6 points and hopefully clinching a playoff spot this weekend.
Yeah, like I said, the game plan, amp it up to the next level. Never keep your foot off the gas. Pour on the offense. Tighten up defensively. Making sure that we're not giving them anything. And, we need our goaltenders to play solid.
Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
He's head coach Jamison Milam. I'm Brady Beaton. We'll have more for you right after this here on the Rockers Media Network. Welcome in live to Big Boy Arena. Brady Beaton with you here on Friday night for some Motor City Rocker hockey action presented by Park Avenue Productions. Let's take a minute to thank all our sponsors that make tonight's broadcast possible. We start with our production company, Park Avenue Productions. We go to PSN Technologies. They bring you stats all season long. Crunch Fitness, they're keeping your rockers ready for the rink. And finally, 106.7 WLLZ, Detroit's wheels rocking all around Metro Detroit as we get ready for another Battle of I-94 presented by Ciderboys. And while the Battle of I-94 unfortunately is wrapped up, the Prowlers for the first time in the series history will take the the season series. Still a lot to play for in this one. The Motor City Rockers looking to clinch a postseason berth, and Port Huron by no means cemented into that 3 spot in the Empire Division. Almost perfectly in between Danbury, who's 9 points ahead, Watertown 11 points back. However, Watertown has 2 games in hand. So yes, it's 11, but theoretically it could be as close as 5 if Watertown wins the 2 games they haven't played. So Port Huron could get home ice in the first round, or they could slide back to that play-in game to take on, hopefully, the Motor City Rockers. Rockers, as we mentioned earlier, coming off a 3-game weekend sweep. One of the guys that shined brightly in that one, TJ Sneath, he was fantastic over the weekend. Since he's come back from injury, he has amassed 9 points in the 5 games back, 7 coming last weekend. TJ Sneath, the big reason why the Rockers are their longest winning streak of the season. And tonight in net, Rico Gonzalez, he has played fantastic for the Rockers all season long. Shut out the Prowlers earlier this year, looking to make it 4 in a row for the first time in the 2024-25 season. Something to note, we'll get into it more after the break, but the Port Huron lineup, there's no Matt Graham, there's no Tucker Scantleberry, there's no Luke James, no Tristan Sim. There is a lot of these young college signings that the Rockers made this past week. A little bit of a day off, some veteran days off for Matt Graham and the bunch, and letting these young guys kind of get their feet wet as Port Huron, again, they're by no means, they're set in stone playoff-wise, but taking some time, almost a load management like game for the Port Huron Prowlers. Rockers lineup being announced right here by Johnny G at Big Boy Arena, getting ready for the national anthem. We will step aside, come back with the starting lineups. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Motor City Rockers hockey here on the Rockers Media Network.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
How did Culligan become the worldwide leader in water treatment? 88 years of experience, 46% energy savings, 100% satisfaction guarantee, or our network of more than 600 local water experts? Score big with Culligan Water.
Oh, picked up up front, shot, scores! Number one, now shot, scores! Here we go, Snitson, and we got a full line roll! FPHL, full line roll! Hell yeah!
When the game is on the line, you need a team you can count on. That's why the Rockers trust IEP Urgent Care, the official urgent care provider of the Motor City Rockers, located on 15 Mile between Utica and Garfield Roads. IEP Urgent Care is owned and operated by emergency physicians within the community, providing top quality, compassionate, and personalized care tailored to your needs. With on-site digital x-ray and testing diagnostics available, you can skip the long ER wait. Get the fast, professional treatment you deserve at IEP, a higher quality of urgent care from ER-trained providers.
Hey, band members, follow the Motor City Rockers on social media. On Facebook, X, and YouTube at Rockers Hockey. On Instagram and TikTok, find them at Motor City Rockers. For tickets, schedule, and more, visit rockershockey.com. Rock on!
One in 5 children in America go to bed hungry. That's why Kroger has donated 60 million meals to families in Michigan. Join us in ending childhood hunger. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, band members, follow the Motor City Rockers on social media. On Facebook, X, and YouTube at Rockers Hockey. On Instagram and TikTok, find them at Motor City Rockers. For tickets, schedule, and more, visit rockershockey.com. Rock on!
106.7 WLLZ. Detroit's Wheels is classic rock that rocks.
Metallica,
Guns N' Roses,
Aerosmith,
AC/DC,
Pearl Jam,
Ozzy.
106.7 WLLZ. Detroit's Wheels.
Back here at Big Boy Arena, here for Italian-American Heritage Night. The Italian National Anthem sung, the American National Anthem just performed as we get ready for another Battle of I-94 presented by Ciderboys. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for your Motor City Rockers tonight. As I mentioned before the break, it will be Rico Gonzalez in net. Josh Colton, Doug Blaisdell will be on defense, and the line of Hall and Oakes and Ronan will be the starting forwards for your Motor City Rockers. Again, the Prowlers, I'm not saying they're punting this game by any means, because they still have some very talented players out there. Mainly, you look, their captain, Austin Federley, their assistant coach, Alex Johnson, on the ice, but a little bit of a load management night, as again, no Tucker Scantleberry, no Matt Graham. Those are the first and third leading scorers, respectively. There's no Tristan Sim, who has 15 points on the year. Same with Luke James, giving some guys a day off here as we wind down towards the end of the season. As the Rockers are donning specialty Noble Mutt specialty jerseys, as they were supposed to be here a week ago. They were caught up in customs. You can still bid on them through the end of the, I believe, the second period. I think it's 9 p.m. when the auctions are no longer live. So if you want to wear your favorite Rockers jersey, head on over, go through the website, check social media for a way to bid on them. The Rockers, their magic number to secure a playoff spot sits at 14. To calculate it, every point the Rockers get and every point Hockey Club Venom does not get takes away from that number. When the number hits 0, thumbs up, Motor City will have clinched a third straight playoff berth. A slew of new guys in the lineup for the Port Huron Prowlers. Young guys, Timothy Organ, Tyler Fox, Bobby Price, Drew Welsh. All new signings out for Port Huron. Puck is dropped, and Motor City controls the opening draw. A couple of number changes with the specialty jerseys to note. Timur Gavrilovich, he wears number 8. Brad Ryder wearing 5, and you see number 3 out there. That is Brendan Ronan, who, while didn't have a lot of points last week, and I thought left his mark. Oak's shot goes high and wide off the glass. Back at their own blue line, Colton up ahead, chipped in deep by Oaks. Ronan races after it. Reed Cooper, the man in net, turned over. Puck knocked away from Hunter Hall. Port Huron in their own end, trying to work it up and out of the zone. Welsh had it along the near side boards. It's knocked back to the Prowler, and Brian Parsons glides behind his own net. Parson waits patiently. Gullo feigns a bit of pressure, slides the Heinzel on the near side along the benches past Nick McGill-Diaz, and Chartrand in the corner. Backhands in front, puck stop, shot, and scores. Dylan Marty, 59 seconds in, just chipped it from a standstill to the top right corner, and the Rockers have the early lead. Excuse me, the Prowlers have the early lead over the Rockers. Nick McGill-Diaz stops the cross-crease pass but doesn't control it, and unintentionally puts it on a tee in the slot. And Gonzalez couldn't get to the post in time. And less than a minute in, Dylan Marty nets his second of his young career. And Port Huron has the lead. Talked about it with Coach Jamison Milam in the pregame. We have that for you before puck drop every game, so if you have notifications on for the stream, you'll be able to catch those interviews about 5 minutes after we go live, called about 10 minutes before puck drop. Talked about starting on time and building confidence. That's one of the bounces that Jamison Milam was referring to, that when you're playing with confidence, seemingly the puck just finds its way to the slot, and Marty converts on it. A 1-0 Port Huron, and let's see how the Rockers respond. Nick Gullo stops at center ice. 2 Prowlers converge on him. He sends it in deep behind his own net. Alex Johnson to the near side. Tallest man in the Fed, Braden Simmons-Fisher ahead to Reggie Millette. Timur Gavrilovich on the end boards. Puck hops around to the near side. Half wall shot kicked away by Gonzalez. Feed out to the right side. And the puck goes up and out of play. 17:45 to go in the first period. Unfortunately, Dylan Marty made it 1-0 Prowlers before anyone had their hot dog and popcorn. Get a center ice puck drop. Off the draw, hops around, and Port Huron has it. Johnson in his own end, slides between the blue lines. Ooh, that one came up and caught Lakney. He is holding his mouth, and he will glide to the bench. Saw that last Sunday where had a couple of different players, or we had a player and an official take a puck to the face, and Lucas Lakney takes the vulcanized rubber up to the face. Hope he's all right, but he was slow moving to the bench. 17:25 to go, first period. Prowlers lead it 1-0. Welsh back to his own end. Parsons kicks it to the tape. Intercepted. Cody Oakes has to wait to be on sides, and he was a bit too anxious. Offsides the call. Remind you that fans, if your sides are a little off, that Great Clips will get your hair back on sides. Located in the Meijer across from Big Boy Arena, Great Clips is the official hair cutter of your Motor City Rockers. Neutral zone draw. Ronan battles for it, goes over to Oaks, rings it around the boards. First one there, the Prowlers' Brett Lockhart. Racing after it was Hunter Hall. Oaks in the far corner, chips it back in deep. Bussel banks it off the far boards, a bit off the mark, and to a Rockers stick. Blaisdell in his own end. Ends up with Ronan. Just a bit too strong for Cody Oaks. Johnson trying to ward off Oaks. He lost it, picked up by Bussel along the far side. Feet ahead and fighting with the puck was DeCumbus. Rockers on the attack. Oaks off the low glass, takes a funky hop. It's right behind Reed Cooper. He doesn't know where the puck is. Lucky for him, the Rockers were going off for a change and a couple different white sweaters to get there first. Heinzel rings around the boards. Nick McGill-Diaz surveys the scene as he collects the puck near side. Flips it out of the zone, knocked down by Welsh. Had to wait to be on side. Tyler Fox just a bit late getting back over the blue line. Prowlers again off, gives the Rockers a chance to touch up. Or I should say collect the puck as the Prowlers touch up. McGill-Diaz from his own end. Slides to the far side, Mac Diver. Ahead to Gullo, he chips ahead, spins off a hit by Heinzel. Behind the net. Federley along the far half wall. Waiting for it at the skates was Bobby Price. Up to Millette. Slides across Federley, had it poked into the corner. Gullo and Federley pinned on the far boards. Diver pushes it to the near side. McGill-Diaz flips it nearly the height of the rink. Avoids the rafters and stays in play. 15:27 to go, first period, 1-0. Port Huron on top of Motor City. It was Dylan Marty, 59 seconds in. Millette shot way wide of the net. Kept in the zone by Parsons. From the point, high and wide. Gonzalez never saw it. Lucky for him, not on net. Delayed call coming up against the Rockers. And Port Huron will be going on the power play. A high stick against Tristan Wells, the Rockers leader in penalty minutes. He'll have 95 after this penalty is assessed. Wells to the box, 2 for high sticking, and Port Huron a chance to extend their 1-0 lead early. Fox, Oregon, Price, Welsh, and Chartrand. A very youthful lineup out there for Port Huron. I wouldn't call this a load management game. I'd call it an experimental game for Matt Graham and the Prowlers. And, well, 5 minutes in, it's working well. Shot slides wide. Welsh settles it down to the stick. 5 minutes into this one, Prowlers lead it by a goal, have a man advantage for the next 1:45. At the point, Oregon to the far boards, back to Oregon, slides near side. Welsh walks up, centers it. Oregon over to Price, had it poked away. Gavrilovich couldn't knock it away. Back to the near side boards. Oregon keeps it in. The young guys for Port Huron cycling it through the zone for the first 40 seconds of the power play. Rockers looking for a clear. Welsh along the near side boards, back to Oregon. Shot save, rebound loose, another save by Gonzalez. Pile up in the crease, and the puck comes over all 3 lines. Motor City will get some fresh legs out on the ice. Halfway through the Tristan Wells high sticking minor. 14:07 to go, first period, 1-0. Port Huron leads this battle of I-94. Into the offensive zone, but offsides. 13:58 to go in the first period. Great Clips presents every offside this season. 6 minutes into this one, Prowlers lead it by a goal. You're watching the Rockers Media Network.
When the game is on the line, you need a team you can count on. That's why the Rockers trust IEP Urgent Care, the official urgent care provider of the Motor City Rockers, located on 15 Mile between Utica and Garfield Roads. IEP Urgent Care is owned and operated by emergency physicians within the community, providing top quality, compassionate, and personalized care tailored to your needs. With on-site digital x-ray and testing diagnostics available, you can skip the long ER wait. Get the fast, professional treatment you deserve at IEP, a higher quality of urgent care from ER-trained providers.
Hey, band members. Follow the Motor City Rockers on social media. On Facebook, X, and YouTube at Rockers Hockey. On Instagram and TikTok, find them at Motor City Rockers. For tickets, schedule, and more, visit rockershockey.com. Rock on!
Back here on the Rockers Media Network, 50 seconds left to go in the Tristan Wells minor penalty. 13:55 to go in the first. 1-0 Port Huron, thanks to Dylan Marty's second of the season. The captain, Austin Federley, slides to the far side. Lakney back to the point. Federley near side. Millette has it on the forehand. Shot into the glove and then into the belly of Rico Gonzalez. 32 seconds till we're back to five-a-side hockey. After an early flurry by Motor City, it didn't result in the shot, but they, for the first, I'd say 45 seconds, controlled the pace of play. It's been all Port Huron ever since. Rivers gets the clear. Shots right now 4-0 in favor of the road Prowlers. 20 seconds left for Federley, drops it back to Millette. Surveys the scene, leaves it behind Lakney. Slides it into the offensive zone past Simmons Fisher. Blaisdell shepherds it to the stick. 8 seconds till Tristan Wells is released. Johnson has it on the tape. Down low. Near side Millette, back to 5-on-5 hockey at the point. Federley one-timer, tipped and scores. Braden Simmons Fisher got a piece of it between the hash marks, went 5-hole. And while it wasn't a power play goal, for all intents and purposes may as well have been 2-0 Port Huron. Heads up play by Austin Federley. You'll see here that the one-timer and the 6'8" Simmons Fisher out in front. And the Prowlers have a 2-0 lead. Seven minutes into this first period, and the Rockers in an all too familiar spot against Port Huron find themselves down 2-0. They don't even have a shot on goal yet. At the point, Morgan, near side, shot, scores, tipped in front again. And whatever Port Huron's putting on net finds its way into the back of it, and it's Marty's second of the game. And much like the last time these two teams met, 3-0, and we're not even halfway through the first. Two tips out in front. Well, Port Huron, again, playing with a lot of confidence. Motor City flat right now. Port Huron circling the wagons. Out in front of the crease, and Gonzalez slides it to the far boards. Still in the Rocker zone. Finally, between the blue lines, someone needs to step up for Motor City. Trailing 3-0, not even 8 minutes into the game. Marty with two, Simmons Fisher with the other. Gavrilovich to Rotundi, turned over, back into the Rockers' end. Feels like I haven't looked to my left in about 5 minutes of real time. Oakes to Hunter Hall. He absorbs the hit from Simmons Fisher. Knocked the puck loose, and Fox into the attacking zone. Cody Oakes throws the body around. Millette getting physical with Josh Colton. Along to the near side on the hash marks. Simmons Fisher, shot hops wide to the net. Federley backhands it in deep. Millette, he goes down, and Gavrilovich is going to go to the sin bin once the Rockers can touch up. And everything's coming up Prowlers right now. A save by Gonzalez. And with 11:31 left to go in the first period, Port Huron going back on the power play. Timur Gavrilovich goes to the box, and Port Huron on the power play. So 2 minutes on the board, and Port Huron can almost get the TKO blow. One-timer deflected into the corner. Puck not out of the zone. One-timer gets deflected by Blaisdell. And an almost angry clear from TJ Sneath. And Reed Cooper actually gets to come out of the crease for the first time in a few minutes. 30 seconds into the Gavrilovich minor penalty. 11 minutes to go in the first period. Already 3-0 Port Huron. Marty back behind the net to the far side. Colton stepped in the way of the puck. Left wing circle. At the point. Lockhart in front. Save. Across shot. Another kick save by Gonzalez, and TJ Sneath will skate it out of the slot to the near side and dumped down the length of the ice halfway through the Gavrilovich minor penalty. 10:30 to go first period. Rockers looking for even a modicum of momentum. Federley over all three lines, drops it back. Simmons, Fisher, rink wide pass, shot save, rebound loose, scores. Austin Federley, and it's 4-0 Port Huron. Right now, Rico fighting the puck a bit, and 2-3 cracks at it here. And Austin Federley puts Port Huron up 4-0. Deja vu from 2 weekends ago. And Port Huron all smiles. Game not even 10 minutes old. And the Rockers trail by a quartet of goals. And right back into the Port Huron end, or the Rockers end, shot off the glass. Gavrilovich behind the net. Up to the near side, turned over. Again, it hasn't just been up and down. The play has been nearly exclusively in the Rockers' end for the first 10 minutes of play. At the point, Oregon up top, shot off the end glass, rebound, poking at it, and someone on top of it. I believe that was Gonzalez. 9:36 to go. 4-0 Port Huron. You're watching Motor City Rockers hockey.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy.
Oh, picked up up front, shot, scores! Number one, now shot, scores! Here we go, Snitson, we got a full line roll! FPHL, full line roll! Hell yeah!
106.7 WLLZ. Detroit's Wheels is classic rock that rocks.
Metallica,
Guns N' Roses,
Aerosmith,
AC/DC,
Pearl Jam,
Ozzy.
106.7 WLLZ, Detroit's Wheels.
.36 to go in the first period, and folks, I wish I could give you better news, but got to call a spade when I see it, and right now, Port Huron utterly dominating the Rockers, 4-0, 5-0. One-timer, and Drew Welsh nets his first pro goal. I would say when it rains, it pours, but tonight when it pours, it monsoons. And that's putting it lightly. 14 shots on goal for Port Huron, and Rico Gonzalez, his day is done. Bryn Sommerfeld coming into the game. It's been a night to forget, and it's not even 8 o'clock. "14 shots on goal for Port Huron, 5 have found the back of the net. And Motor City hasn't recorded a shot on goal yet this game. And the Prowlers playing without 2 of their leading scorers, Scantlebury and Graham. Josh Colton to Hunter Hall. Oakes flips it ahead. Ronan tries to bring it in. Cody Oakes around the end boards. Blaisdell comes up, and the puck slides out. Lakney racing for it. He will win the race for icing. Colton takes it away. Blaisdell in the corner. Lead pass tipped. Icing waved off. Oregon evades Oakes. One touch, Cody Oakes trying to get something back. A modicum of momentum. Because right now, well, again, this is as dominant of a start as Port Huron has had. They've won 7 straight. And unless something changes dramatically, I know there's 48 minutes of hockey left, but the Rockers are going to have to show some sort of life here in the first period. You'd like to get 1 or 2 back, but it starts with a shot on goal first. Busel spins around to the point. Simmons Fisher over to Heinzel. Down low in the corner. Battle for the puck. 2 white, 2 black jerseys fighting for it. Comes to the near side. Hall. Excuse me, that was Corey Checo. To the far side, and Diver couldn't get there. Tellstrom steps in front of the pass. McGill Diaz to Tellstrom. Finds TJ Sneath. Puts the puck in deep. Rockers again looking for anything they could use to build off of. 5-0 Port Huron. It has been an absolute monsoon from Port Huron. 6-0. Drew Welsh again. .7:14 to go, and you get a chance between the hash marks, and he picks the corner. 6-0 Port Huron. Again, the Rockers have yet to record a shot. And the disappointing part is you're coming off a 3-game weekend where you played better. Yes, it is not lost on me that the Venom and Mississippi are not playoff teams, and Port Huron's been playing pretty well, but you still would like to parlay some wins and some confidence ahead. And folks, this is as flat of a start as the Rockers have had ever. 6-0 in the first period. I mean, the Rockers have never given up more than 8 goals in a game, and they've given up 6 in about 13 minutes here to start this one. Port Huron's been playing well, no doubt about it, but they just seem to have Motor City's number this year. They have an extra gear. And with Matt Graham, Tucker Scantlebury, and a few others sitting out, a lot of young guys, they haven't missed a beat. Look out, off the helmet mask, and it stays 6-0. Sommerfeld loses the helmet. The draw is in the Motor City end. Off the draw, Port Huron controls it. Federally behind the net. Pressured by Colton. Blaisdell spins down to his knees. Busso battling for it. Blaisdell pokes it away. Cody Oakes looking for a haul. Barely got it in the zone, but very quickly back out. Blaisdell behind the net. Federally, left wing circle. Center's shot feathered wide. Colton to Hunter Hall. Rink wide feed. Cody Oakes, he's got a breakaway, right wing circle, shot, save! And Reed Cooper finally gets on the board. He's been sitting stoic for a while and eventually has to make a breakaway save. And again, everything coming up Port Huron here in the first period. Right now, you're just looking for any positive momentum, anything to grasp onto. Tellstrom finds Tristan Wells. Flips it the width of the ice. Tellstrom poking at it between the circles. Near side, McGill Diaz kept it in. Fox behind the net to Parsons. Hard sauce pass, it's the leg of Welsh. Fox into the zone. Fought with the puck a bit too much, turned it over. McDiver to McGill Diaz. Under 5 minutes to go in the first period, and no, unfortunately, that is not a typo. 6-0 Port Huron. It has been all Prowlers. Simmons Fisher in his own end. He pushes Ryder away. To neutral ice, Eli Rivers back to Ryan Rotundi. Ryder goes down to the ice, back up. Prowlers have the puck. Rotundi to the near side. Rivers couldn't handle it. Simmons Fisher left side. Heinzel. Chip kicked away by, or punched away rather, by Sommerfeld. Gavrilovich, quick feed to Rivers. He's knocked into the boards and off the puck. Gavrilovich to the near side. Rivers across the width of the ice, back in deep. We have a down Prowler behind the play. Adam Heinzel took a moment. Millette tackles Rivers from behind. And there will be something to come of it. No call on the hit. But Millette grabbed Rivers from behind, ripped him down. So Millette will go to the box. I don't know if Eli Rivers will go. He never even dropped the gloves. He's going to skate towards the Rockers bench. 3:52 to go in the first. 6-0 Port Huron. You're watching Motor City Rockers hockey.
Oh, picked up up front, shot, scores! Number one, now shot, scores! Here we go, Smithson, we got a full line roll! FPHL, full line roll! Hell yeah!
Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy.
So here we see the puck was going down into the zone and behind, or no, excuse me, that's Millette grabbing Rivers from behind. That's something you can afford to do. Take a double minor. It's officially 2 for roughing, 2 for unsportsmanlike. So Millette will go to the box for at least 4 minutes. Rockers down 6-0. I'm not going to sell you that this is the moment that the Rockers can get back in the game. I will sell you that if there was a little bit of light, a crepuscular ray, you know, when you see a cloudy day and they're shining through, a glimmer of light maybe. If you score twice on this double minor, you're down 4, and that's at least doable in 2 periods. Up the draw, McGill Diaz to the near side, Rivers. Out in front, no, it gets deflected far side, Gullo recollects. Around the Continental Electric Products power play, proudly made in Michigan, they provide power solutions to industry. Continental, a premier partner of the Motor City Rockers. Rivers, slap shot, saved by Cooper. Comes back to the point, Nick McGill Diaz slides over to Gullo. 25 seconds into the Millette double minor. Gullo slides it wide off the end boards, off the back of the net. Simmons Fisher throwing the body around. He collects the puck, he skates it out of the zone. The big man over the red line into the offensive zone, slides in front, and it misses the stick of the intended target. That was Tyler Fox. 3:12 left to go in the double minor. Rockers trying to use this to stop the avalanche of momentum that the Prowlers have. 2:52 to go in the first period, trailing 6-0. Ryder to Colton. Wells shovels it in deep. Oregon waits, rings it along the boards. Colton has it. Near side, Blaisdell. Returns to the captain, Josh Colton. Back to Blaisdell. Near side. Blaisdell down low, gets it back. Wells setting up out front. Tellstrom down low, has it on the backhand. Off the end boards. Ryder searching. 28 seconds left to go in the first minor penalty. To the point, Colton shot deflected, goes up high, up the high glass, stays in play. Ryder fishes it out to Tellstrom, one-timer, and a save by Cooper. Still loose, it squirts to the corner. 2:10 left to go on the Millette double minor. He will serve the first one as the initial minor penalty elapses. 2 minutes left to go on the power play presented by Continental Electric Products. 1:47 to go in the first period, and Motor City again just trying to get on the board going into the locker room. Rivers on the right side, puts on the brakes, slides it across. McGill Diaz walks it up, shot, and it's saved into the corner. Net comes off the moorings. Parson with an extra shove. Rivers didn't like it. Rivers and Parson going at it. Have to imagine some frustration. 1 from Rivers being tackled from behind, 2 the scoreboard as well. I don't know if anyone will go to the box for this kerfuffle. Are they going to send Rivers? So Rivers goes, but Parsons doesn't. They're sending Rivers off, and he is hot. Now, will there be anyone going to the box, or will it just be a misconduct? Josh Colton and Austin Federley listening to the verdict. And that's not something you want to see as the your leading scorer going to the locker room. And I think Tellstrom going to serve 2 minutes, so the power play evaporates, and it'll be 4-on-4 for the rest of the first. I don't know if Rivers got a misconduct or if he was just upset knowing he wasn't coming out of the box anyway. So we're waiting for word up here on what the Rivers penalty could be. So 2 minutes go on the board. Four-on-four hockey, 6-0 Port Huron. Miguel Diaz, back to Diver, Sneath. He gets knocked to the ice. Lockhart throws the hit. Johnson, he's knocked down. Lockhart at the point. And a delayed penalty coming up. Lakeney walks up, shot saved. Sneath touches, and now Port Huron's going to get a power play for a cross check. And Nick Miguel Diaz doesn't like it. So from a 4-minute power play to now a 4-on-3 penalty kill. So as these penalties stack up, frustration continues to grow. So Rivers did just get Rivers and Parsons are listed as each getting a minor penalty, but no minor on Parsons, excuse me. So a 4-on-3 power play as Port Huron tries to put up a 7th goal here in the first. So the initial call was they did give Parsons 2 for roughing. I'm presuming he went to the locker room because it offset with Rivers, and then Rivers got an extra 2 for abuse of officials. That's what the initial penalty was. And then Miguel Diaz 2 for cross-check. Bussell in the corner, back to the point federally. Near side, Johnson. Federally, left side. Walking it up, back to Federally. Shot, deflected, puck loose. Gullo backhands it, not quite over the blue line. 17 seconds to go in the first period. Johnson, Federally. Left wing, Lakeney, shot, scores. And the cherry on top of the most dominant period this series has seen, as Tellstrom comes out of the box, and it's 7-0 Port Huron. Off the draw, Oakes. Stick to side, Blaisdell, shot deflected over the net, and we go to the locker room. And not much to say after that 20 minutes of hockey. 7-0 Port Huron.
Picked up in front, shot, scores! Number line now, shot, scores! Here we go, Snitson, we got a full line roll! FPHL, full line roll! Hell yeah!
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meyer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meyer.
How did Culligan become the worldwide leader in water treatment? 88 years of experience, 46% energy savings, 100% satisfaction guarantee, or our network of more than 600 local water experts? Score big with Culligan Water.
When the game is on the line, you need a team you can count on. That's why the Rockers trust IEP Urgent Care, the official urgent care provider of the Motor City Rockers, located on 15 Mile between Utica and Garfield Roads. IEP Urgent Care is owned and operated by emergency physicians within the community, providing top quality, compassionate, and personalized care tailored to your needs. With on-site digital x-ray and testing diagnostics available, you can skip the long ER wait. Get the fast, professional treatment you deserve at IEP, a higher quality of urgent care from ER-trained providers.
Who is Culligan? We're local water mastery, efficiency, delivery, technology, trustworthy. Culligan, here for every water worry since 1936.
Cloud Cannabis has locations in New Baltimore, Detroit, Utica, and Ann Arbor, all located within the Metro Detroit area. We have flower, edibles, pre-rolls, 510 thread carts, disposables, all organically grown in Michigan. And Cloud and Timber Cannabis have some of the best professionals as our cannabis consultants. They'll be able to answer any questions about strains, products, effects. If you're not familiar with cannabis, we can educate you on those things that you need. You'll be comfortable with people that know their way around great quality product.
After one period, 7-0 Port Huron. I wish I was kidding. We'll just real quick go over the scores in order. Dylan Marty had goals 1 and 3. Braden Simmons Fisher, the one in between. Then on the power play, Austin Federley. Then Drew Welsh got his first of his career. Then Drew Welsh got his second of his career. Lucas Lakeney buried one on the power play with 9 seconds left to go. I don't think it's hyperbolic to say we maybe just witnessed, unfortunately, what was the worst period in Motor City Rockers history. It was one to forget. There's 40 minutes of hockey left to be played, but the Rockers are they're on the mat, and they're going to have to find a way to pick themselves up and fight for these next 2 periods. 7-0 Port Huron leads. You're watching Motor City Rockers hockey.
Hey, what's up? It's James Campbell, your Motor City Rockers in-arena host, and I'm here, back, with another 5 minutes in the box. We took a bit of a break, but we're back again, and this time, we're being joined by TJ Sneath. TJ, how's it going, man? Good. How you been? Not too bad. We're happy to see you back. Earlier this season, you took a bit of a hard hit. You were off a little bit. You were injured. Can you give us a bit of an update as to what happened and how you got back into swinging?
Yeah, so got injured on January 11th against Bennington. Kind of a scary injury. Not really going to go into exactly what it was.
Like the gory details.
Right.
I'll tell you, we had an ice crew member who was like, "Oh my god!" Like he was like freaking out. So everybody's very worried about you, very concerned about that.
And I appreciate that. I mean, original diagnosis, it was very weak on me returning this year. So I'm very blessed to still be here and to be playing. I went home and did rehab with Eat Sports Performance. A shout out to them. They're an amazing team of doctors that rehab me 5-6 days a week and got me back to playing here. So grateful for them, and I'm grateful for the organization for sticking with me.
All right, so we're happy to have you back. You recovered. You're back in the game. Can you give us a little history? Like, how did you get to where you're at now? Like, can you give us a little bit of the short version of your hockey career?
Well, I mean, I grew up playing in Southern California. Moved away for juniors at 16 years old. Lived in Minnesota. Played there. Played Manitoba. Played in Virginia. Went to Oswego State. Transferred to Lebanon Valley College. Played a couple years pro in Sweden.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then came back over, played in the SPHL, and have played for the Rockers.
Oh, very cool. Well, we're happy to have you on the team. You're definitely one of the fan favorites, so it's always great to see you on the ice. Give us a little bit, like, what do you do when you're not playing hockey? Because I know you got to be a diehard hockey fan if you're from California, and you sign up to come do winters in Michigan.
Well, my dad's from Michigan.
Oh, really? Okay, so you have a bit of a local connection.
For sure. My grandpa still lives out in Coldwater, Michigan, so I do still have a lot of roots settled down here. I mean, I do enjoy things outside of hockey. I never played any other major sports, but I do a lot of bass fishing.
Bass fishing, okay.
Yeah, and I play a lot of golf.
Okay.
So
very cool. So bass fishing, come on, what's your best fishing story?
Oh, gosh. Best fishing story... I would have to say going out on the Mississippi River catching over 400 bass in a day with a guide that I met at Gander Mountain just by happenstance. I also, my first day in Minnesota, I caught a near state record bass out of a freeway pond.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of fun fishing adventures. My family.
How long does it take you to catch 400 bass?
We were only out for 5 hours. I mean, I had a good guide. But,
holy crap. I'm trying to do the math real quick. 400 divided by 5. It's like, what, 80 bass an hour?
Pretty much every cast.
Okay, every cast? You catch some. Nobody use it for bait. I'm sure the fishermen want to know. It didn't matter?
It didn't matter. You could throw topwater frogs. You could throw drop shot. You could throw swim baits. Like, we were in spots where it was just on the whole time. So.
Okay, it's crazy. Wow. Yeah. I'm just trying to even think. I probably would have been like, okay, we have 100 bass. We're good. Let's go. But I guess
I don't eat them, so.
Okay, you throw them back?
Yeah, it's just for sport.
Okay, just for sport? Okay.
Yeah, I grew up fishing in Arizona. My family has a house out there, dating all the way back to my grandfather in the 40s. So he taught me how to fish as a little kid along with my father.
Very cool. What area in Arizona? Like
Lake Havasu City.
Like Havasu. Okay, so you're over there like with the Spring Breakers and all those guys. Those kids party.
It's like right on the border of California, Arizona. One side of the lake's California, the other side's Arizona.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize the border was that close, but I know I spent a year in Arizona before I moved back to Detroit. So like I'm familiar with some of the areas, and I know like that was like the spot to go, like the party and whatnot.
For sure.
So you said you're into golf.
Yep.
What's your favorite golf course?
Oh, by far, Sand Hollow in St. George, Utah.
Okay, what about that golf course makes it your favorite?
It's just gorgeous. A bunch of canyons, really challenging course. I've only played it once, but I'm dying to go back.
One time, but it's your all-time favorite, huh?
By far, yeah.
Very cool. What would you say are you better on the front nine or the back nine?
Depends on the course, of course, but probably the back nine.
Okay,
typically.
Cool. Very cool.
It narrows out and gets a little bit shorter and allows me to attack some greens. So.
Okay, I gotcha. Very cool. So do you root for any professional sports teams? You
I'm a Red Wings fan. I've always
we finally got a Rockers who grew up a Red Wings fan. Everybody else is cheering for like the Canadians or the Avalanche or other teams from their hometown.
Well, you got a lot of guys from Vermont, Quebec area, so like that makes sense. But I grew up a Lions fan. Tigers, didn't watch the Pistons much, but I love the Lions, even though they couldn't win a game my entire childhood.
Oh, yeah, well, hey, at least the Lions are in it
now. They're good now.
Yeah, they're good now. They're a hell of a lot of fun to watch now, that's for sure. So, besides golf, fishing, hockey, is there anything else you like to do outside of the rink?
I mean, I travel a lot with my wife. We drive to here or wherever I'm playing every single season.
Oh, wow. How long of a drive is it from Cali to here?
3 days if you hurry, 5 days if you don't. So it's relatively easy.
Do you have because I know you've been with the team for a few seasons now, at least
my second year.
Second, okay. So you have certain areas you like to stop when you're making that drive across country. Like you have certain road stops. There's a Uranus fudge road stop area. Is there anywhere you like to stop?
My stops are a lot different than what my wife would like to stop for. So
is she stopping for the world's largest knitting?
No, that's me.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah, no, I'm stopping for there's a dinosaur museum in I think it's called Dinosaur, Colorado. But it's I'll stop for those little niche things. Alien beef jerky.
You're a sucker for the roadside attractions.
Oh, 100%. If there's a sign that says, what is this thing? And it's trying to attract you to some trailer off in the woods, I'm going to.
You're let's go. Hey, we got 5 days to get there. Let's go.
When am I ever going to be going through some random town in Nebraska again? Even though I go through it every year.
There could be some country bumpkin's little shack, but you're going to go check it out. And,
right.
And pay the fee pay the fee to see it.
Yep.
So awesome, TJ, dude. I appreciate you taking the time
Thank
to
you so
talk to me
much.
about some stuff. Anybody you want to say hi to?
Just my parents back home. I know they wanted to come out this year. My injury kind of derailed that, so planning on coming out next season.
Okay.
And, you know, my sister, her husband, Christian, and the rest of my family watching back home.
Very cool, man. Well, hey, TJ, we wish you the best of luck in the rest of the season. And, dude, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Hey, band members, follow the Motor City Rockers on social media. On Facebook, X, and YouTube at Rockers Hockey. On Instagram and TikTok, find them at Motor City Rockers. For tickets, schedule, and more, visit rockershockey.com. Rock on!
One in 5 children in America go to bed hungry. That's why Kroger has donated 60 million meals to families in Michigan. Join us in ending childhood hunger. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Let me help you. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy.
Hi, Avery Smith with Motor City Rockers. My favorite thing about Crunch Fitness is their free weight section. Bench press, dumbbell bench, do rows, about anything you can think of.
I'm Chris Buys. We're currently on the IR. Crunch Fitness has got a lot of machines, weights, super beneficial for PT. For my injury right now, they got a nice turf over there too, which is super helpful.
George's here. One thing I really like about Crunch Fitness is the tanning beds. Rain or snowstorm outside, I don't miss a day in the sun, so I'm always getting my nice bronze color.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's James, your Motor City Rockers in-arena host, back again with another 5 minutes in the box. This time, we're joined by Eli Rivers. Eli, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us.
Yeah, no
How's
problem.
it going, man?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
So, you've been like one of the leading scorers on the team. How are you feeling about the season?
It's been going well. Obviously, been getting a lot of opportunity here. So it's been good for my confidence, kind of to play in a bigger role and you know, be needed on the offensive side of things. So it's been good. Just hoping we can finish out here and find our way into a playoff spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tight towards the end of the season. We still got half the season to go, so still plenty of time to get those points. But let's talk about like your journey through hockey. Like, where did you start from? I don't think, are you local to Michigan?
No, I'm not local. I'm from Vermont.
Vermont? Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up playing. I started when I was like 2 years old. My dad played hockey. My grandpa played hockey. Everyone was involved in hockey.
We come from a long line of hockey players.
Yeah, so the pressure was on. My older brother played as well. So I was in skates as soon as I could. I had a hockey stick in my hand when I was a baby. So
that's crazy. 2 years old. So I have a 2-year-old son. I can't even like grasp the concept of him like trying to ice. I can't even get him to like leave the pantry like when he wants candy. You like, I don't even know how you could like direct a 2-year-old, you know, to skate and all that stuff. So that's an impressive to come up that you started so young.
Yeah.
Besides hockey, like, so what do you do when you're not on the ice playing hockey?
I just hang out. I got a dog at home.
Okay.
So I hang out with my dog. I'm at the apartment with Trevor, so he's got his dog there.
Okay.
So we got a
You got
Nice.
the dog bonding there.
Yeah.
What kind of dog?
It's a pit bull as well.
Pit bull? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a pit bull as well. So
Yeah.
The most cuddly creatures you could ever
The best. And
encounter.
they're like Velcro.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your dog's name?
Bo.
Bo?
Yeah.
Very nice. I like that. That's a great name for a dog.